So I continue to slowly plug away at the story, gathering and trying different classes at a leisurely pace. And sure, life has happened and I've spent long periods of time away from gaming, and I'm still in Stormblood, but I'm not bummed out. And the more thought I put into it, the more it comes into focus, one of the main reasons I'm actually still enjoying this game as much as I am. And I've touched on it quite a bit in one way or another, but what it comes down to is I want to play. I want to sit and stroll around just taking in the scenery, listening to a certain tune just once more, and taking the time to absorb each new area I enter. There's no preconceived notions and no pressure. Even from the very beginning playing World of Warcraft, it was a rat race and I got swept up instantly, mindlessly plowing through content until I got to the end, then grinding tokens, rep, and materials to squeeze out just another point or two in my gear score or resistance for a certain raid boss. It was about the spectacle and exploration for a little while at the start, but then the thought of being left behind was too much to bear. The drive to stay above average was far greater than the joy of discovery. Now, playing World of Warcraft for 14 years, it's 10% exploring the new areas and mechanics that are introduced in each expansion, then 90% grinding resources, rep, materials, 50 different kinds of tokens and upgrades, and rep again just so you can max out your stats enough to raid. Then you raid to get incrementally better stats for hundreds of hours invested, to dive into the next expansion where those hundreds of hours are erased with quest gear 3 levels in. But it was so addicting. It was the carrot on the stick, the digital prowess, getting those whispers and chat about your new shoulders. All of it was intoxicating. It was a goddamn full-time investment to keep relevant, to maintain that status. You sit back for a week and watch all of those around you surpass you, and it kept you going. But all of that rushing leads to dismay, and if you've played World of Warcraft, you know that within a week of the newest expansion dropping, the grumbling begins. There's no end game, there's nothing to do, where's all the content? Oh my god, forums start lighting up about the lack of available entertainment, and that cycle drives me crazy every time. And I say to myself, don't rush, then you idiots still have stuff to do, and then a week later, I'm that idiot. And that's the inherent problem with World of Warcraft that I was always guilty of falling into. You feel so rewarded for pushing and getting the things and the stuff as fast as possible. But then you're left mindlessly wandering around until the next next patch is released. Now don't get me wrong, there's reps, tokens, and grinding to do in Final Fantasy as well. What I'm saying is that everything in this game is presented in a come as you are sort of way. For me, Final Fantasy invites you to go at your own pace. The elitists exist, I'm sure. I've not run into anyone turning their nose up. Everyone has genuinely been helpful and it's just peaceful. Now, if I had to guess, I'm probably about halfway through Stormblood's main story quest, and I've been in Stormblood for almost 4 months. Now, if this was a WoW expansion back in the day, and an expansion dropped even the day after my surgery, you could bet money I'd be throttling through the content, stitches bursting at the seams. Now, as I've presented in my previous videos, this has nothing to do with the quality of Final Fantasy being less than or the content being less captivating, because it's just better, to me anyways. It's just the game design. The developers feel like they legitimately care about the experience, not the draw, and the journey, not feeding the addiction. World of Warcraft will always be a big part of my life. I'm currently reading Arthas Rise of the Lich King and genuinely enjoying it, but I know WoW as a game to me is a thing of the past. I just don't have the time to put 30 to 40 hours a week into a grind to not fall behind. And WoW had a way about making me feel guilty for not playing it enough. Addicted? Probably at some point I was, but once I came out of that fog, I just didn't like what I was seeing anymore. So Final Fantasy for me is patient. I'm seeing all the content, I'm touching all of the dungeons and raids, and I feel relevant all of the time. My pace is all that matters. At every level there are plenty of people working in similar areas, and at every turn a helping hand is offered. Perhaps the player-focused narrative gives me tunnel vision in regards to what is happening around me, and that's just fine. I want to care about my progress, my adventure, not feel pressured to be the first and to keep up. It's a wonderful journey so far, and who knows, when I do catch up, maybe endgame will swallow me whole and dump me headlong into a mind-numbing gear grind. God, I hope not. Or at the very least, maybe I've learned not to care and I have nothing to worry about. So in the end, I do want to send out a heartfelt thank you. The comments and the feedback have been positive. Even when I've been corrected for the mistakes or something I've said wrong, they've been mindful and respectful. And I know if this was a World of Warcraft video and I misspoke or misrepresented, I would be ripped from top to bottom. I've seen it happen, so I know that it does. And that's a testament to the community that makes up the Final Fantasy XIV fan base, is that in and out of game, the respect and the kindness has been overwhelming. And to say thank you, I'd like you to comment below your favorite class, and I will have an email listed below. After you posted your comment of your class, shoot me an email, and I would like to send everybody a vinyl decal with their class, or maybe just the main Final Fantasy logo. And I will do my best. In the United States, it's not a problem for me to ship these out. Cost is not prohibitive. Outside of the United States, it could be a little bit different, so I will have to take it as a case-by-case basis. But for everybody who comments their class or main logo and shoots me an email, I would like to send you something to say thank you. So otherwise, thank you. And I'll see you guys in the next video.